Welcome back, guys and gals, to my ARK series Let's Play. This is episode 3, and we are finally getting to the main base today. Show you guys around, show you what we've got built. I think that'll be most of this episode, and then in the next episode, we'll go to my new building spot and kind of explain some ideas about what I have in store for that. So I just stopped here on the way back from Suicide Island to our little Pearl, I think it's called like Pearl Lake or something. Um, Essentially, it's like an oasis, little mini spinal base my brother's got set up here. So stopped here on the way back, but we'll get right into it and begin moving towards the main base. Now, um, it is in the northernmost part of the island. Pretty much dead center. If you follow the river that cuts right through, it is. So you see that river that's kind of in the middle by my pointer finger. That's almost exactly where that base is. So that's where we're going to be heading real quick. Figured we'd check out the view along the way, see if we can find any skeleton dinos or something cool to do along the way. Um, So far, there's some quick XP. So far, so good, I think. Um, it's a little difficult finding things to say, but I hope I'm filling time appropriately. Um, Again, once I start posting these videos, I'm gonna have to find out if this quality is the same because when I watch them back, I'm not seeing, you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing. Because, like I said, this game is absolutely beautiful. It's one of the reasons I play this game as much as I do. It's stunningly gorgeous. Um, and my graphics are set super high, and I don't know if it's like a conversion thing. I'm an audio guy. I'm not really a video guy, so I don't know if there's like a conversion tool that I'm not using or a setting that's I can change. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into that because, or maybe because I'm watching it on my actual big screen TV. That's where I play games. I just have it set up to my TV. Maybe because the pixels are so big, um, that it's not coming out accurately the way I'm seeing it. Maybe on a phone or smaller computer screen or iPad or whatever. Maybe it does look better. Um, so we'll look into that and get that figured out. So this is a mountain, the northern mountain. I think I'm not sure what they call it. Um, but this is where I often find alphas, especially on this northeastern corner. Um, I think this is where most of our Alpha Rexes spawn is up here. So I do like to take a look around whenever I'm heading this direction. Um, and there's a ton of other stuff that is good XP, so I try to take my time whenever I'm heading in this direction and just take a peek around. So most of these videos you're going to see, to start with, probably 1 through 5. I'm actually doing all in the same day. Today is Saturday the 31st, which is Halloween, of course, um, which is perfect for an intro into the Halloween update, I guess. Um, so I'm going to try to do 5 or 6 videos today just to get a ton of content up, to keep you guys interested while I get things, while things develop, and that'll give me some time to look into some video stuff, some conversion stuff, try to get the quality better. Again, the audio is going to be about a week or two out, and then editing will probably be right around that same time. So I'll be doing a lot of stuff, off camera. We've already got a ton because like I said, I was going to start um, building, and what I'm going to do is start building in Thatch, our new base, just to outline everything to make sure it all works, so I can plan it out correctly, um, and make sure it's going to work out exactly the way I want it. And we've already been working on that because, like I said, I didn't want to lay anything down, so we've just been building, um, or prepping materials. So we've got quite a bit of stuff, and I'll show you that once we get there. So this, we're coming up on the base, and because we've got so much stuff, it does take a long time for this to load in. So bear with me, this will stall. It does every single time. So this is the northernmost coast. You can see that's, I forget what they call that mountain. And then there's the obelisk in the snow biome. So when I first saw this, I was extremely intrigued just with the way the land is naturally formed. Kind of this beach and this river. And sorry again about the brightness. I know the snow biome is going to suck for filming. But I'll start out here, I guess. So this is probably one of the last things we built. And that was just a random shark. We tamed just for the dossier. It's like a level 2 or something. So it's outside the pen because I don't want it. Um, so this is, what the hell is that down there? Some type of graphic glitch. Or maybe that's a cave, underwater cave probably. Alright, so this is our deep water or like pier pen. And I'll explain things as I go along. So we got some plesiosaurs, we got 3. 2 of them have the base saddles, the buildable saddles. And then one is just like our personal one that I take with the dolphin as a personal protector when I go for like pearls and oil and stuff. These 2 we haven't built yet. It's something I'll be getting to. Something else I can include you guys in on now. Um, so I'm not really sure what to do with those, but I'll get an idea and figure it out. We've had a boat for a while, pretty much when they released those. I can show you guys that right away. What we have here is just, this is my bird perch. So he's kind of out of the way when we're using the boat. I'm gonna make it bigger. This game, like anything you set out to do, it almost guaranteed you're not gonna get done. It's the way the game works. If you think you're gonna go tame something, you're gonna get distracted and do something else. So you'll see a lot of that with our stuff. But anyways, so we built a nice little base or foundation, pretty big. Got some ramps down to bring dinos on and off on the front of the boat to load into like a beach or something. It also makes it really easy to get in and out of the water. We also have a ladder here for deep dive things, just to jump right in and jump right out. Got a fridge. I don't know if we got some meat in here. And then a generator, of course. I don't know. Yeah, got plenty of fuel. And then obviously the driving spot. I think I want to build out this way, but I don't really know what I'm going to put on it yet. So definitely be able to get more creative. There's plenty to do. This game is never boring. Got a little forge here, nothing in it. Little smithy, nothing in it. Just in case we're out in the middle of the ocean and need to fix something or build something. Got some boxes here. We got a box for pearls, nothing in it. I just emptied all this stuff recently. I went around the entire island and basically hit every single underwater cave and just loaded up with pearls and oil. This is just for things when we're out. So we have plenty of Trancos here in case we want to tame. Plenty of narcotics. Got some crossbows, some pikes, and some wooden spears just for like death missions or to get your stuff back if you die underwater. You can grab some spears in case you die, you don't have any armor on. Got some tools here. Obviously a bunch of metal hatchets for oil. GPS always in the water. It's probably the only place I use GPS is the water. Um, it's just so easy to get lost out there. And then just some metal hatchets. They're base metal, nothing out here special. Scuba gear. Hide works really well underwater for like gloves because there isn't any like scuba gloves or anything. So we always keep some extra hide stuff. Got an extra dolphin saddle just in case. Got some scuba flippers, some leggings, bunch of scuba tanks. Essentially what I do is I just leave, for the most part, I just put on the flippers in the tank and leave my fur gear on when I go underwater. It seems to work just fine. Um, got some lights, of course. Always gotta have lights. And yeah, so this is our little boat. Nothing special now. We'll probably make another one and have multifunctional boats. So maybe we'll turn this one into like a base boat kind of like our plesiosaurs, and then turn one into like a speedboat and so forth and so on. We'll get creative with that later. So yeah, so we have a couple plesiosaurs out here. That's why we needed this deep water. You'll see there's a behemoth gate there and a bunch of walls. I've seen people build with multiple behemoth gates, like back to back to back, and it's smart and efficient as far as materials go. I personally don't like the look of it. I mean, this isn't a whole lot better, but um, it tends to leave a lot of gaps on the bottom when there's like hilly parts, especially in stuff like this. So I just use walls. It's a lot more grinding, but we got 2.5 times gather rate, so I don't know. It makes it fun for me. I like building this stuff. So yeah, we got our pleasies. We got a little pier, so you can walk out to the deep end. I had to build around this rock. This rock is permanent. You can't break it, so I just built a nice little pier around it. And then we got a few um, megalodons there, a few ichthyes there. Um, don't really use these, especially it's never use the sharks anymore. Dolphins are pretty much the only way to go, so we use those. So yeah, this is our backyard. Um, the problem, the mistake I made that I will correct in the future in the new places, I should have built this. I didn't know how big. We built this before we got the plesiosaurs, so I didn't realize how much room they would need. I thought this was going to be plenty big enough, but it's not even close. So I should have went out a little further, like past the boat, and then straight up to this gate. And instead of fixing it, I just, I left it. I'm gonna build a new base anyways. So what is that? Is that a white coal? Huh. I don't think I've ever seen an albino coal. Anyways, so here's our backyard. Like I said, this area is just natural, like base material, and I love it. And this was all built before the snow biome came, so we were extremely lucky. I mean, you could not have asked for luckier. Like the split, the natural split between the snow biome and the next biome is, I don't know. I didn't plan this. This was completely before, this was built way before the biomes. And we just got extremely lucky. Nothing got chopped up or cut out. So, um, got a plant species X all around our base to kind of up on platforms to make sure. Oh, so if you haven't realized or had the experience yet, the only weakness of the plant species X's are dodics or armadillos. Um, because it distracts them. They just go into a ball, sit there, and then it just constantly fires on them. And so I usually, when this happens, I'll just go grab a Quetzal and pick them up and drop them off. But we're not going to do that right now. But just for a heads up note. So this is a nice little area, plenty of water. I do have a pier in here. My first pier before we built this outer pier. Um, I had this here so dolphins and sharks can get in this little. Here, let me show you. Here comes the lag. So before they did the biome changes, you could bring sharks and dolphins in through here no problem, through this little channel. Um, and that's why I wanted it safe, so you could have them where they couldn't get hit by any water animals. And it worked out great until this update came. And now they have oil everywhere. They changed kind of the depth of this little ravine, and you can't get a plesio back here. So that's why I built that and just moved everybody out there. So this is our backyard. This is our prime pen. Usually we'll bring stuff back here, and then like go pick up. Once the Quetzals came, this is pretty new. Once the Quetzals came, we built this because you can just go grab a bunch of mammoths and dump them in here. Starve your tame that's out here on the island um, down to whatever, and then go kill all those mammoths. They're just in a pile for you, and then have ton of prime, and then just quick tame it, and it works out really well. This is my taming post. So what I have up here, I kept it on land because I kept at early game or when we were up here, I kept having animals drown because I kept knocking them out in the water. So I built this little wall to keep them on shore. So you funnel them in there and then you just go out on that catwalk and knock them out. Um, it works outstanding. It's almost a perfect design, in my opinion, of course, not to be too cocky. but it does work really well. So this is our kind of our taming backyard, completely safe. Everything's fenced off, um, and yeah, it's works marvelously. And then we have a bridge here with another behemoth gate, so you can get in and out on this beach or this area. Um, if you have something down here or want to lure things in, you can lure them right in on the bridge that we have. It's just 3 wide, nothing special, um, but it works. It's very functional. Then we have a fence that goes up here. And we don't have any plant species X on this side because we lure wild animals through this door. And we don't want them being killed, of course. So this side's pretty safe. There's not much that's over here that's dangerous on a regular basis. So and then we have a plant species X here, just guarding this corner. Again, with ladders to get up and put fertilizer and stuff in them. And then we have a wall. We were having early on problems when we first started building here with stuff falling off and ending up in that backyard, and it was a pain in the ass. So this is relatively recent as well. Built this. And normally I try to use the land as much as possible, as you've seen from some of the other bases, and I did that here um, pretty well, in my opinion as well. So got another one here, just kind of to guard the outer perimeter. Uh, and then we got our first little yard. This is my brother's side of the base. This is his little guy, small creature hut, and I'll show you that. But there's another plant species X with a fence that goes up. Now this fence is only here because if you're familiar with this area, this is a really dense rock and tree area. And we used to use, or we still use, for like cave runs and stuff before the Quetzal was here. We'd run our cats here to go up and around over in the prairie by the volcano to get to the caves. And it was just a pain in the ass. So I built this fence just to keep trees and rocks from respawning, so it's a clear path. And it's worked out in many other positive functions as well. It's just nice to be able to see this far out. Alpha Rexes, like I said, always come from this mountain, so it's nice to have a heads up before they're right on your ass. Because the trees used to come like right up to where these rocks are before I built this fence, so you'd have like a very minimal amount of time. So this is our main, or this is Josh's main yard. And the other problem is we always have eagles coming in and fucking with our stuff. So we put plant species X's inside the yard, but not up on pillars, um, because there is a lot of dodicks out there, and we didn't want them. They kept getting stuck, so we just put them on the ground so they'd kill eagles if they tried to come inside, but leave everything else alone outside the walls. And it's worked out pretty well. That's where this little forest area is our wood rock area. So you just run a mammoth right out the gate, go get all your wood, rocks with the dodic or flint with the anklo, and then head right back in. So that works out really, really well. And we'll show you his little pen. So like I said, he's got a couple, well, I guess he's got more than I thought. 2, 4, 6 Rexes, couple high levels, couple mostly lows. I mean, this was all before I raised the level, so he's got a 116, 90, a 109 Optimus Prime. So he's like a Transformer guy, so he's got all Transformers name. So you can see some of those. Megatron, Grapple, Sideswipe, Jazz, Optimus. And then these are his Trax and Ratchet are his Spinos. I gave him Ratchet's his original one from before we got high levels, before I changed the leveling. Um, and this one was my old, I think this is a female. Yeah, this was my old female, my low level I gave him, so he'd have a boosted pair. Um, so those are his. He just keeps out here. And this is a Sarco I gave him. And then he's got like this little backyard thing that he keeps all these nobodies in. There's some male trikes, Rocksteady, and uh, didn't name this one. And then some male scorpions that don't do anything. Those are all here. And then he's got a little gate or a little ramp up here. And just pretty simple. 2 levels high. He's got some Dimorphodons. A couple frogs I gave him. I think he tamed one of these and I gave him one. Yeah, I gave him Battletoad 2. Um, oh, did I give him both these? Yeah, I gave him both of these. Those are my low levels. Oh, this is the one he tamed. Yeah, he hasn't named it. So he's, as you can see, we play very different. He's got King Louis, his little Mesopithecus. We play very differently. He's kind of scattered, and I'm super OCD. All my stuff's in line, in order. You'll see that later. But so he's got a female just to have one, just to say he's got a boosted pair um, of the deer or elk, Megalosaurus. Got a couple raptors here, some Apaches, a couple decent level wolves. So yeah, that's his. Oh, he's got who's this? Lino, his albino cat. And see, this is what still happens. Um, I don't know why. It's almost always with the sabers that they go through the floor. So yeah. So I'm my new place. I'm not building animals pens with floors anymore. I want to use natural surfaces so they don't go through. So we've got some lights up here, and here's the plant species X that takes care of this corner here for us. So yeah, this is his side. Um, then I'll show you my side. Actually, let me go to the front and kind of give you an overview of how this base kind of looks or works. So this is that northern river. There's the volcano and obviously the snow biome obelisk. God, that's bright. All right, so here's like a view of the base. We have our main building in the front, which is actually, are you kidding me? All right, come over here, fucking smartass. Here, plant, you take care of them, would you please? I'm trying to do some talking here. Thank you. So yeah, I've got a plant species X there. So anyways, I built this base as part of the waterfall, and you'll see, and I'll get into it a little more in depth here. But so we got this main area that crosses the river. We got a ballista right in the middle, so it can shoot at either gate. And then his pen stuff is over there, and my pen and stuff is over here. And then the central base. We got a parasaur just to tame it. Don't use it for shit. Probably won't go with us on the migration once the new place is done. But so yeah, so that's kind of an overall layout. This is a mini taming pen for his side. You just drop shit in here, and you know, deer and raptors and most of the smaller stuff, sabers, wolves, whatever. This is his, um, so you can see all the way around. We also been using this for a mating pen just to test out the mating because it's kind of small, so it keeps them in the same area. So yeah, so that works pretty well. Got a ballista up here. It's actually a pretty nice location. Got lights everywhere. You most likely will never see me do a video at night just because I don't like the gamma thing. I like immersion. So when I play, I want it to be dark. I don't like just changing the, I don't know, it just throws me off personally. It's a personal preference. So here's the ballista. So we can shoot, you know, defend either gate, and nobody comes in the river anyways, so it keeps it pretty safe. Um, Good central location. It works out pretty nice. Haven't used it much, but it's there if we need it. And then we got a plant species X over here, away from the taming pen. There is none over by there. So when we drop stuff in, it's safe. Again, just a dumb parasaur. Those are pretty useless. Oh, I'm thirsty. This is the front of our main base. We'll get into this in a little bit. I was building walls and stuff, so I got my Rudolph, and then Pythagoras, my mammoth. My first one I still have, I think. No, my first male Pythagoras died when I was first building this place, and Alpha Rex came down, and I didn't have any walls up yet. I was just starting to build it and ruined everything. Killed all my good Spinos, like my mammoth, everything. It was awful. So yeah, so this is our central like crossing location. And this is where I keep all my big stuff. I think I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Rexes, 10 Rexes, something like that. We just got some high level mammoths because I wanted those for breeding purposes. So this is Mrs. Pythagoras 2. This is my first female. So that's kind of my naming philosophy, as I'll actually name them Mrs. Of the same species, so I know from a distance like who's the male and who's the female. And then I just, like I said, I don't even name Rexes anymore. This is just Alpha Killer 1, Alpha Killer 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So we got a shit ton of Rexes just lined up here. They sit. I never touch them. And especially now that I got, so I got Socrates. This is my third male Spino that I've gone through. He's pretty high level. Currently 155. Not a perfect tame, not even close. I think he was a 68 or something like that when I tamed him. And then we have Mrs. Socrates 2. She's a 113. I don't use her. I mostly use him, but I'll take these both out for Alpha Rexes. There isn't a Alpha Rex that these two can't handle. Even if there was a perfect Rex, like an 88, they would have no issue. So we got some um, feeding troughs out here. Take care of all these guys. And then this area right here is a natural pathway that leads down to the backyard. So when we tame stuff out there, we just walk it right up this pathway. And then if it's mine, I'll take it to my yard. If it's Josh's, he'll take it over to his. And here's my main entrance. We got lights and stuff all over the place. And again, this in the new base, this is not going to be there. I want to find a way to hide um, uh, lines, electricity lines, and plumbing. And I think I've thought of a way to do that, and we'll discuss that later. But um, so yeah, there's my Rexes, Spinos, got some Sarcos here, got a male and female. Again, I go for like scientists and philosophers. So this is Hawking and Mrs. Hawking. So these guys I just got to have. They're not high level, they're not special by any stretch. It's just nice to have them in case. I built most of this on foundations from what I could, and then, oop, is that an egg? Yes, it is. Thank you. Another thing that the reason I'm going to build on land is for that. Um, I don't like eggs and animals falling through ceilings randomly. Um, so I'm going to be changing my building philosophy for that because it's just having to walk underneath to get eggs is a pain in the ass. So, um, yeah. So we'll go in here. This is my taming pen, or my main pen that I keep all my small dinos in. And you can see here I got some. I have some scorpions. These two are the females. She's new. Didn't name her. This is Mother Teresa, and then these are all my Eastern names. Like so, this is Buddha, and I think this is like I got a Confucius and Lao Tzu and Ashoka, and so these scorpions you find in the Middle East and India. So I figured that fit. Don't name Patchies because they're useless. I don't use them for anything. These are all females for eggs. Same with turtles. Don't care. Just have them for eggs. Have a random female trike for eggs. I did find 2 bone stegos costumes right outside our front gate, so I threw those on. Stego eggs are important because they're for RGs, so I need a bunch of those. Unfortunately, they don't lay a whole ton of eggs. These are my male raptors. Um, this is what I first really started getting into taming. I look for different colors and didn't really care about levels. I was mostly looking for colors, so I'll get into that down the road when we move them. You guys can check out the different variations I have. So you see Da Vinci and Archimedes, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Locke and Carl Sagan. Some of the newer stuff I haven't named just because I don't know, it gets old. But now that I'm doing videos, I think I'll start naming stuff again. Interestingly, and these are all females. So these are all my females. Tesla and Freud, Einstein, Nietzsche. Young, Pavlov, Newton, etc., etc. So these are where I come get my raptor eggs. Dilos I don't name, they're useless except for eggs. So got a couple of those females for eggs, some female dodos for eggs. Um, and then we have all our non-egg-laying species on this side of the fence. As you can, like I said, I'm super OCD, so um, this is all organized in place by egg laying with some room in the middle in case I need to add more stuff. And this is non-egg laying. So these are all my Conky Dong is an error. The first one I tamed, I was going to name it Donkey Kong, but I spelled it wrong, and I like the misspelling, so I just kept it. So these are all my Conky Dongs. Um, got some pretty cool color variations, like this black and gold one, super cool. This gray and brown one's kind of plain. That one's kind of like a Yeti. It's almost all white and gray. One's interesting. Not cool, but interesting. Black and brown one. But that's my higher level one, so got a few of those just for fiber, and if I ever want to take those out or start using those as my travel companions, I can do that. Some lower level sabers. Like I said, I haven't tamed sabers in a really long time because I don't use them. I only use them for caves. And we have a bunch extra. Because when we went to Suicide Island, I tamed like 30 probably. Um, and that was before we upped the levels. Um, so these are all pretty low level. And we're going to be doing a lot of high level taming later for breeding. So these guys are just kind of whatever. This is Play-Doh. Again, I just start with a name for a type of species, and then I just number them. This is starting with 3 because I lost 1 and 2, or they died. And then I had like Play-Doh 16, but I gave my brother a couple, and we used a couple for caves, and they've died, and so forth and so on. These are my big bad wolves. Got some pretty nice levels here, 125, and they all need levels, so I'm sure these are much, much higher. So we got some nice wolves here. Different color variations too, which is nice. Then we got our Rudolphs. That was my first one, just a low level, nothing, just to have. A little better, and then my good one is out front. We got some nice frogs, some really good frogs. He's like a 114. Oh, I guess we got one nice frog. Oh, this one's a 96. We got 2 Kermits that are green, and then our Battle Toads. And you remember that old school NES game. So yeah, we got some nice frogs, and these are not painted. This is a true albino. Nothing's painted in here. The only one thing I've really experimented in painting is birds. And this is my guard cat. This is the only thing in this building that is on neutral. Everything else on passive because I got it all lined up. If anything happens outside, I don't want everything running around and having to reset it. Because I did that and that got annoying. So I just have this cat. Might as well level him up in melee only. And he's on neutral. He'll take care of anything that glitches through from my taming pen above, which I'll show you, or anything that happens, birds trying to get in or something. He'll take care of that. So everything else is on passive though. So we'll go up here. This video is going to run a little long, but I want to finish the outside portion of the tour. And then the next video will be the inside, because we did quite a bit today. So yeah, you can see our backyard from there. Nice little fence. At night, maybe I'll do an episode just showing you how everything's lit up. Because I have these Rexes over here are backlit. The lights are underneath behind the fence, and it looks pretty cool. So I might show you guys that sometime. So this is my taming pen. Oop, missed that. It's fucking eagles. That's why we're moving. There's so many eagles around here, and it's so annoying. And I can't put plant species X's everywhere because we tame. So yeah. So this is my big one. Just grab a wolf or what. Don't even think about it, buddy. So yeah, we'll take wolves which are right here, or we'll lure birds or drop a mammoth or whatever. You can drop right in here and shoot it, knock it down. It's safe. Um, and then our little entry. So yeah, this goes out to the edge. We built this for another parasaur that we killed. We tamed it just for the dossier because we weren't around when we tamed that first parasaur. So we tamed it, built a wall, so it was safe, and just figured I'd leave it. Doesn't hurt anything with this pen being out here. Use it as another taming pen. I got a little door. I don't know if you can see it right over there. So there's a way in. So yeah, this is my outside. And you saw my brother's outside. You saw our backyard, the pier, and kind of this front bridge area. So I think I'll leave it at that with this one. Thank you guys for checking this out. Hopefully it was worth, so far, worth the time spent. And then the next video we will get into the main base, which I'll show you all around that one. Um, there's 5 or 6 levels I have to it. Plus I'll show you our Quetzal platform and a bunch of other stuff. So thanks again, guys, for joining me, and we'll see you next time.